Hello and welcome to Dad's Our Job podcast. This is the original footballing podcast for dads by dads. You're joined this week by myself, Adam, Rob next to me, and below Callum. Boys, Avidaze, how are we getting on?
Hold tight. Can I just have a moment? Hold on. What happened with the intro?
Why, did you hear it?
No, I've never heard the intro ever, but it was the shortest intro I've ever seen in my life. No, it's like 4 hours long. What happened?
Adam's been playing it in the background. Are you talking about the intro music or Adam's introduction?
He's talking about me talking.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that little video thing. It was like badge done. Like before, it's been like 4-minute video.
Adam's been playing it in the background for 4 minutes before we started.
Has he really?
Oh what? The debt in one.
Say again. What? What?
The debt video by Caddington then.
Oh God,
that's a different one.
Also, is it?
That's a different one.
How did you say hello again? Avidaze. Is it Avidaze?
Avidaze. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what they speak?
Avidaze's pet.
Huh? That means goodbye.
It means goodbye as well.
Yeah. Mate, I'm not the Del Boy of Germany.
It's Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. That's better.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
So, boys, how have we been getting on this week?
To be fair.
Oh God!
Well, it looks like somebody has recovered from Germany.
Oh God! Can I just say it has been a long week? It has been such a long week. Oh my God! But Germany was incredible.
It was good, wasn't it?
Well, for some of us. For some of us.
Why? Who wasn't it incredible for?
I don't know. Well, we'll find out when we have our little debate in a minute.
Oh, okay. So, who had a bad time? I didn't have a bad time. I had a great time.
I didn't have a bad time. Did you have a bad time?
Who?
You?
No, I loved it. I'm an ultra, mate. I'm there. Look, I'm there with my dad. I've been carrying this stand everywhere I go.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Oh, so all right. So we'll kick off with family life then. So what's family life been like since you come back from Bremen?
Rob?
Oh, it's been pretty good. Got home on Sunday, watched Arsenal pull off a draw, and then Monday was rough. Alea wasn't very well, so she didn't go to school. So I stayed home with her on the Monday. And then it's just been a day of, I feel like it's been like a week of catching up. So, or just a week of chasing. That's what it feels like. It feels like a week of chasing. I felt pretty good, to be honest, in terms of coming back into the swing of things. But it just felt like this week has always been chasing the next thing or getting ready for the next thing, as opposed to sort of like hitting the ground running. So, yeah, clubs have been good. Alea's getting braver at swimming, and Danny is doing his things in parkour. But apart from that, pretty straightforward for that family week tomorrow. The exciting day is tomorrow. The exciting day for us tomorrow is because our matriarch has her birthday.
The Duchess.
The Duchess. It's her birthday tomorrow. So Lady K is turning tomorrow. So she's turning tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
21. 21,
So,
yeah.
21.
21?
Yep.
21, yeah. Times. Oh.
21. Yep. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
no,
she won't approve. So our day starts tomorrow. I feel like our week really kicks off tomorrow. It's going to be a nice day.
Yeah.
So yeah, what about you, Ad?
It's a privilege getting old. You should be happy getting old. No? All right. Good chat. Well, my week.
Go on, mate. You go your week.
Yeah, well, my week. So again, as we'll talk about the football a bit in a minute, but yeah, Bo. So Bo's still transitioning to his new nursery, and it is a complete, obviously different sort of setup. Where before Bo was sort of in one room, obviously doing different activities in one room, but ultimately it was literally a small room. It's not like like a proper centre or anything like that. He's now gone into an environment where he's got multiple places he can go, as well as obviously basically being outside all day long if he chooses to. But he's also started doing forest school, so he's like learning about bugs and different trees and lighting, fires, to animal poo, to going to parks and churches, and it's sort of a completely new experience. And I think that one that he's actually found a little bit difficult in certain aspects, in the sense of obviously he's left all his friends behind, where he had been there 9 months, from 9 months, sorry, and he had a big or vast group of friends that he's known for a long time, to go into a new place where he's actually only knows one person. I think he's found that quite difficult, and we've had a few little problems in the sense of like he doesn't want to go to nursery, or doesn't, he wants to stay with us, or he wants us to stay with him. Well, I say us, but Heather, who takes him. So it's been a little bit challenging, but I think he's also enjoying it, but missing old friends from what I see. I mean, what they're getting him to do, I think, is fantastic. Like, we've already seen a change in him, where he's becoming a little bit more independent, in the sense of getting himself ready. And I think that's something that particular setting sort of push on. They want the children to be more independent. It's about them choosing what they want to do, as well as getting themselves ready for what they're going to do as well. So like, we've already seen a change in like how he gets ready, or how he wants to, like, for instance, dressing would be the best one. Like, he dresses himself, or he wants to undress himself, where before it might be a bit more us led. So we've seen that sort of, I suppose, growing up in that short period of time. But it's also been a little bit worrying for us, because we're like, obviously, like every parent, you just want your kids to be happy, and I just want him to be happy at nursery, because he loved being with his mates. And now it's sort of hoping that comes around. Obviously, it's only his second week in, so I'm sure that will come. But he's just coming home knackered. That's the one thing. I think that's the biggest thing that we've also noticed, that he's literally coming home and he's shot, like, he's red cheeked, where you could just see like all day long he's just been on it. And obviously, you all know Bo, he don't sit down anyway. So from the pictures and videos that we're getting from the setting, is that he's just out running in the garden all day long. But he's like almost like asking to go to bed. He's like I'm not, I need to go to bed, or he's getting ratty and like upset and stuff. But I think it's going to be positive. I just think he needs to find friends. Like, he's playing with kids, and we're like, what's their names? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, Bo, like, you got to ask people their names, mate. And he's like, yeah, but I just call him like mate, or I just go like, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's been quite worrying, but not from him, I suppose, but from more us, because we just want him to be happy, basically. So, but yeah, I mean, on a personal note,
But
just trying to get through the weeks, isn't it? Really? Yeah. What about you?
We're seeing that as well, Cal. So,
oh yeah, because obviously, Alea, yeah.
No, I don't know if I'm on a delay now, but we're kind of seeing that as well. Alea went to the same nursery that Bo is going to now, and she had a brilliant time there, and she loved it, and she was always outdoors, and she was doing all those things. And then she's just gone into primary school, and the primary school does have a forest school they do once a week, and those types of things. But the more interesting thing for us is about building friendships and building connections. And she's been in the new school for a couple of weeks, and initially I think it was a little bit of a transition for her. And there's been a few hiccups in terms of like, did you play with anyone today? And she's saying no. But I dropped her off at school the other day, and this girl just came up to her and held her hand. And then this other girl came up and held her hand as well. And they just started like, they were so cute together. And the mum of one of the girls was like, "Oh, we hear Alea's name at home a lot." And I just thought, oh, brilliant, because she hasn't really communicated to us how she feels about going there and whatever. She's been a bit funny about doing that. But it was really nice to see her with 3 or 4 little friends and just looking quite happy. And they went into school and they were holding hands. Like, it was really cute. And you get a little bit of anxiety. So it was nice to see that she looks like she's getting set up and she's coping better than she was when she first went into the school. And she started to read a little bit as well, which is incredible. So that's lovely as well. But yeah, sorry to hijack that, Adam. How's things been for you this week?
It's been all right. Oh, sorry, clear my throat. Yeah, no, I think it's been all right. Like I say, just been chilling, just been sorting workout, which has been the priority now that I've been thrown back into it, as I said off air. But this afternoon I'm on my own for the next couple of days because Connie has gone to Peppa Pig World with her mum and her aunt. So yeah, I'll be at home alone, working and doing some housework. So,
Who's that behind you?
What?
Who's that behind you?
No one behind me. That's why I've left the door open so I can see who comes up the stairs. If there's a light that comes on in the stairwell, you know there's someone there, or it's Buddy. So yeah. So I'm home alone.
Or do you do yourself a pizza?
I've
cheese pizza just for me.
Yeah, I've literally just been eating shit as well. So I've had like massive chicken nuggets. No, you get like the battered bird's eye stuff. I've had one of them, some chips and mozzarella sticks, and that's been my dinner tonight. Just because I've been working late and I didn't have time to do anything substantial, so I just whacked whatever was in the freezer.
Beigest food. That is so beige, man. Jesus.
I know.
Put
I just
some
ate
peas
it
on there or something.
Yeah, no, it is beige. It is very, very beige, but yeah, but it's just literally emptying the freezer with all the shit. So I've just thought, right, just whack all that in the air fryer, go and do what I need to do, run downstairs and just eat it as quick as I possibly can. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I do when I'm on my own. Just yeah.
Right.
But yeah, Connie's going to Peppa Pig. She's been really good at nursery. She's been very helpful, as what our nursery cards and teachers have been saying. And yeah, it's all been pretty good. So yeah, she's going to have a day of fun tomorrow with her mum and her aunt. So
where is Peppa Pig World?
Funny enough, Hampshire.
Oh,
like for a pig, Hampshire. And I bought her some Peppa Pig West Ham gloves as well, and they do exist.
Oh,
West Ham.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, no, she has actually got Peppa Pig West Ham things that they're in the club shop. It's like a special collaboration with Peppa Pig is to have West Ham branded jumpers and stuff.
That's where all your money's going, mate. That's why you can't get no one in the door. Transfer window.
That's it. You can't get no managers, but we've got Peppa Pig on the sidelines.
Mate, you'd be happy with Nuno, I'm telling you. I'm not getting onto that again, but you'd be happy with Nuno.
Yeah, it ain't happening. Nuno, it's not happening.
Yeah, he's too good for you.
Not because I don't want it to happen. I've heard it's not happening because of the severance pay from Nottingham Forest is what's causing the issue. So basically, they want a free agent manager, but they don't want to pay out his contract that he had with Nottingham Forest as part of the gardening leave to get him in as boss. So it's like, well, they're not going to buy him. So,
but he's so good. Oh,
so you're just going to get relegated with Potter.
Well, the thing is, Potter. This is the funny thing, right? So we know he's going. We know he's getting sacked. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. But you know what they said? They went, he's going to be managing the next 2 games against Everton and Arsenal. This is the quote from the board. Against Everton and Arsenal, because we're not going to win them.
That's actually what they said.
That's crazy.
That's exactly what they've said. They're not winnable games, so he's going to remain in charge.
You watch him have a blinder and take 6 points. You watch him take 6 points.
Yeah. He would. Apparently, if he wins both games or loses both games, he's gone, regardless.
Oh, okay.
So what's the point of having him in for the next 2 games? Get someone else in, give them the 2 games.
Who are the next 2 games?
Everton and you.
Oh, so we're after Everton, right? Because we've got Newcastle this weekend, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun for the West Ham fans then. Sure.
Well, I don't mind you taking 3 points as long as they ain't against us.
Yeah.
Damn.
See what happens. But should we go on to a bit of match of debate?
Yeah, go on, let's have it.
Yeah, do it.
What's happened there, boys?
I don't know.
What?
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live.
Okay.
Crazy. So, match debate. Fan experience. Would you prefer Europe over England? So,
no.
boom.
No.
First off,
you can't say all Europe because you're saying Brenham over your normal club. So Brenham over Arsenal or Brenham's over West Ham. No?
Yeah, go on in.
All right. Are we not going to talk about Brenham first before we do the debate?
Yeah, this is what leads on to it. So initially, we'll talk about fan experience in general. Like, what do you think the English? What do you think the English atmosphere is at the moment in terms of match day experiences?
Well, I think the Emirates is pretty good. I think for what it was 15 years ago, 10 years ago, it's fantastic.
I think. So go on. Sorry, Cal.
Yeah, I was going to say I think I like it. I've been to the Emirates. I think it's fantastic. They've got a vast number of songs now. Where back in the day it used to be like, and it's Arsenal, but and that's about it. Or 1-0 to the Arsenal, and now we've got we've actually got songs for different players, and they're constantly creating new songs, and I think I love the fact that they they sing. We've almost got like our own little ultra section now. You've got the flags that go up. Hey,
Ashburton Army, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like we've got our own little ultra section. I think it's fantastic. And I think the rest of the ground feed off obviously the Ashburton Army, and so I think Emirates is pretty good. I mean, I think it's slightly different at the London Stadium for West Ham at the minute, but what do you think, Rob?
I mean, at the risk of sounding like a fence sitter, I don't actually think the atmosphere is that different to what we watch in England. I think the atmosphere is exciting. We were right in with the ultras, which is going to be kind of tantalizing and exciting. But I've sat behind the Ashburton Army at the Emirates, a little bit behind them because the Emirates is far bigger than Bremen's home stadium is, but still behind the Ashburton Army. I don't think there's much difference in terms of the way people feel about the clubs that they're going to watch. I think the main thing that I kind of appreciated at the Emirates than I did at the Bremen game was that I feel like the Arsenal ultras had a little bit more common sense once the game kicked off. Kind of the flags got a little bit lower and you could actually watch the game. I don't know. I mean, I would question how much football was actually watched by the ultras, because I kind of felt like the flags were up the whole game. They were all singing the songs, but they couldn't see anything. 2 of the goals I didn't see. I know that Bremen lost 3-0, but I didn't see 2 of those goals because there was flags in the face. At least when I've been at the Emirates and watched Arsenal games, the flags have come down during the game. The shouting's still been loud and exciting and whatever, but you can still watch the game. I just think maybe there's a little bit more common sense than there was when we were watching Bremen. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, obviously on the weekend when we was in Germany, we were fortunate, to be fair, to get the section that we got in. I mean, one of the biggest differences is obviously that it was standing, and there was no seats at all. It was literally just standing, wasn't it? Obviously, I know at the Emirates they've still got seating. I know they still stand at the Emirates, which makes everyone else stand. But this is a fully standing terrace that they had at Werder Bremen. I mean, obviously, walking up there, it was different in the sense of, as Rob said, they had the flags going the whole game, and I think, and they literally sang the whole game. I mean, I know, at Arsenal they sing, but I think one of the things that we spoke about was that they sort of sing in relation to what's going on in the game. So, like, obviously, if there's low spots in the game or low activity in the game, they sort of, at Arsenal, you'd like to think, or they do, sort of try and get the crowd going or get the players going. Or if obviously we're getting battered, they might go quiet, which is probably more expected at the Emirates. Where at Werder Bremen, they literally sang the whole game, so much so that, as you know, when they scored the 3 goals, we couldn't even hear the away fans cheer. Like, where obviously at the Emirates, if they score a goal, it all goes quiet and you can hear that section, obviously, or the away section, cheer. I mean, I must admit, I absolutely loved every minute of being in the Werder Bremen section, and especially being with the ultras that were there, because ultimately, I think that's what you go to games for. I know the flags did get in the way, and yeah, there's certain bits I miss. I must admit, I did see all the goals, but there were certain bits of passage of play that I did meet. But then for me, that's what you're going to games for. You're going for the atmosphere. Otherwise, you might as well sit at home and watch it on TV. Or and it's the same as why you go to a pub to watch the game. You go to the pub because you've got that noise around.
Oh, where's he gone?
So, hello?
Oh, mate.
Yeah,
Good
and I just think,
thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just think that's what you go to games for. For me, I was jumping around. I mean, obviously, I didn't know what the hell they were singing, but they loved their club, and I was jumping up and down. I was swinging my, I think I turned German very quickly, and I was swinging my flag in the air. But I think the German culture is very similar to British culture. It's food, drink, and football, and I think that you could buy into that very, very quickly. I mean, the only thing that I'm a little bit gutted at, which I know that we wouldn't get in England, was experiencing a goal. I was saying to obviously Adam and Rob before we came on air that I was watching some of the Werder Bremen games on YouTube. And when they score goals or when things are going their way, they have flares. I mean, I've also heard that flares are not great in the crowd as well, and I've obviously heard about stories and stuff like that. But also experience that, I think, would have been special. Even just Werder Bremen scoring a goal. Obviously, they lost 3-0. I think that would have been special to see the crowd go, erupt, and especially the section that we was in. But like I say, I absolutely loved it, and I think that's what you go to games for. And you could see by their crowd how much they absolutely loved the game. I mean, they were 3-0 down and no one left. There was no one walking out to the whistle went. Where again, if Arsenal, and people might beg to differ, if we went 3-0 down, the bloody stadium would be empty. You know what I mean? So I mean, that might be because it's so hard to get away from the Emirates. I must admit, what is it, an hour walk up and down that bloody road before you get into the station? But you know, I think the ground is actually set up. Huh?
I also think that Arsenal and Werder Bremen are at kind of different levels, aren't they? And I think that if Arsenal were losing 3-0 to someone, they've had a really bad day. Whereas Bremen might have had sort of stupid expectations on that, which is not a criticism; it's just an observation. You know, I think.
Yeah, no. I mean, also, I don't know about the setup at Bremen. It seems so easy to get away from the stadium. I mean, it was like, I know we obviously hung around, and you know, we went and watched other games around. You know, went to other bars and watched other games, but it was quite nice to have that where, you know, people were almost hanging around. We had good weather as well when we was in Germany, but you know, people did sort of hang around. And I know that, to be fair, that happens at the Emirates as well. You know, if it's a weekend, people will go to the bars and stuff and hang around and have a chat and then shoot off home. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I absolutely loved every minute of it. But it's just a shame we didn't experience a goal and the crowd erupting. That was the only thing I think that's what we missed out on, which I'm a bit gutted about, to be honest.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway, Adam?
Well, before I have my take, I wanted to show a couple of videos and some images, if that's all right. Where is it? Oh, what's going on here?
No pictures, no videos.
If I can play it, it'd be great. Come on.
The anticipation for this.
Well,
I think you got to press the icon to go play.
I know that, and I'm nuts. Well, yeah. So that's the video. What do is I show some
good video.
Now this was the atmosphere outside, and I thought like you say, building up to it. Obviously, what struck a chord with me is the walk down from the city past the houses into the tunnel and going and leading up into the stadium. It really it really made me hit. It really made, how can I put it? It hit home as to how much West Ham missed this. You know, like going through, you know, the alleyways and going through in the atmosphere and showing that, because Bremen is very much a community style club. We see all the tents outside in terms of like engaging with the younger fans and whatnot. And also that you can, like, just on that picture there, you can just see that Freiburg fans are walking in amongst the Werder Bremen fans. So it's all quite civilized, whereas that would never happen at West Ham. There'd be, you know, there was a Chelsea fan that was knocked out, wasn't there, by a West Ham fan one week. But there's things like that kind of really made me miss Upton Park in terms of the lead up to the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that the atmosphere was good. I thought the pubs were lively. I thought, you know, the bar we were in was great. But yeah, I thought there was not really much wrong you could go with that experience, really. But yeah, going in, like say, there's you, Cal, with your scarf and you being an ultra, getting right in it.
It was. I loved it, mate. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. So, do you know any of the songs then?
No, I just mumbled along.
I know. Cheer up, Werder Bremen.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daydream Believer. Yeah, right. Okay, so here's the video where we're going into the stands. So for me, it was how loud it was that kind of threw me off. And I thought, whoa, I haven't heard a fan experience like this for years. So here's the lead up. Yeah, so that's I thought leading up into that, I thought it was amazing. I couldn't knock their support whatsoever. Yeah, I just thought it was really really good, and that even during mid game, that the atmosphere leading into the game was good, and then during the game, I think this is where I do have my criticisms with it. Like, it was great being in it. It was great seeing the song, seeing the passion from the fans. But this here, that kind of disappointed me, because it was like, well, we come to watch a game and we couldn't watch it. So, and I get it from an ultras or a partisan fans sort of view, is that if they're paying €16 a ticket to go and sit there, sing songs, drink beer, fly a flag, and not really worry about watching the game, that's absolutely fine. But if I was a fan going in that stand to watch the game, that's more for me, because I know that I would not be going to see that game. So I'm all for it. But for me personally, I think I'd rather be sitting on the sides there looking at the atmosphere and then turning my head to be able to watch the game.
Yeah. I tried to sneak upstairs and got sent back downstairs. So I left.
It's crazy. But one of the good things, though, that I did think was that although they were 3-0 down, they were still singing. So it's pretty much this here. So yeah, you can't question their support, really, in terms of they're losing, so they're just going to continue singing, and that's exactly what they did. But again, to that, it almost felt like it was a scripted fan experience. It was like 5 minutes they're going to sing this song, 10 minutes they're going to sing this song, 15 minutes we're going to get a tifo out, 20 minutes we're going to sing this song, 20, and it just felt a bit scripted. So it felt like, regardless what had happened in the game, they would have been doing that all the way through.
Yeah, but you don't know that, because
organic.
The thing is, you don't know that, because if they would have scored a goal, it might have been different.
Yeah, it might have been, but it was good to see them lose, because it was like, well, this is how they are all the way through. And then if they scored, it'd probably be a different atmosphere. But I was like, it's great. It's great organisation. I think it's how German is that. Even the fans are organised and to the book. But it doesn't feel, for me, when you compare that to an English atmosphere is very spontaneous, isn't it? So if something happens in a game, you just know you've got quick-witted fans that will just come out and do a chant that will just be meme-worthy, and it will go on social media and it will completely fly. I mean, like, for instance, I'm just going by West Ham experience. Like, one fan done a flag of "just sold my car to Lucas Paquetá" before the Conference League final, and everyone was singing it. As soon as they saw that flag, it was like, we're all singing that now. And it just kind of spit right. I couldn't imagine the German fans reacting to something in game, creating a song, and then be able to portray it the way that they did with an orchestrated chant. But that being said, go on.
I also think that there was I quite like the spontaneity of it, because, like, when we were in the Bremen section, it was almost like harmonized. Whereas, like, when you're watching like an English or a British fan base, everyone's singing the same song, but no one's singing it at the same time. Like, they're just singing. Other than North London Forever, for example, at Arsenal, everyone is joining in with the song, but they're not singing it at exactly the same time. It's sporadic and it's random, and it's kind of like people are just getting in on it. Whereas this was almost like you said, it was very kind of like structured, and we're going to sing this now. And I can remember like the guys with the microphone, they'd all turn around to signal to each other. And then they start singing the next song. And it was like so sort of like planned and thorough. Well, I do kind of like the spontaneity of England, of when you're watching British fans. But having said that, we couldn't understand half the words they were saying. So you don't really know how it actually was, because it was so, I didn't have a clue what they were saying.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
Mostly taking the piss out of us being English fans, wasn't it? It's like, what the fuck are they doing here? But we soon stood
of
our
all the
ground.
places to come.
Yeah. So we come to support your club. I can give us respect. But yeah, I think after talking to a few of the Bremen fans in that area, they were trying to take the piss, like, oh, how many? England won the World Cup. Like, how many since? Like, oh, right, yeah, we know. I said the last time we won the World Cup, I wasn't even fucking alive. I said my dad was one. Like, so it's hardly banter, is it? Like, we've won none. You've won what, 2 in the last almost 40 years. So, yeah, it was good though.
That's football rivalry, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just football rivalry. It's just that is banter, isn't it? That's
yeah, it was good. Yeah. But any other takeaways from the Bremen experience?
I think you just mentioned it. Ticket pricing. I mean, them where we were standing, their starting ticket is €16. 16 euros. Where that at the Emirates would be, I would 60 plus easy.
Yeah.
A game. So I think, you say you're not happy with your experience. And obviously, I know we paid different because obviously we bought it second hand and through a market on the internet. But I can see if you're paying £100 or between 60 and 100 or 60 to 150 quid for a ticket at Arsenal. I mean, I don't think I don't think I would complain if I had that same experience at the Arsenal. I think I'd be buzzing, especially knowing the team and the songs and all that. I think I'd love it. But they're paying 16. That's what's that? 2 pints, or like 2.5 pints, 3 pints. It's that's nothing compared to what they're paying over in England. Like, what I mean?
I also think that the money goes further in Bremen than perhaps it would in other places in Germany. And I'm just speculating, but let's just say if you were buying some of the stuff we were buying in London, even at maybe West Ham, right, you're going to be spending so much more than perhaps, and I'm again speculating, then perhaps you might be paying for a round of 4 drinks at Newcastle or Sunderland. Yes. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think maybe we have to take that into context. We're all fans of London clubs, and we were like in wherever we were in Germany, the north of Germany. We were away from Bayern Munich and that sort of place where you might expect things to be a little bit more expensive. So I think there's probably a little bit of that as well. Not as big a fan base, as perhaps London-based teams. Although if you went to Newcastle, it would be absolutely stacked with fans, wouldn't it? So there's that too. But I think maybe there's an element of that as well. But the whole feel of it was just great, wasn't it? It was just lovely going in. There was no drama. Everything was very sort of clear, and the walk to the stadium was good. There was no trouble, nowhere. Didn't see any trouble.
No. Mixture of fans.
It was quite. I mean, it's a little bit of a culture shock seeing the people smoking and drinking in the stands. That's not really something I'm used to seeing. Definitely some wacky backy, loads of wacky backy. I came out absolutely stoned, but again,
you must have had about 4 pretzels, I think.
With all of that, but even with all of that, no trouble. Didn't see any trouble, and we were with the ultras. I thought it was pretty. I mean, that I think is pretty incredible. And I didn't see anything going on outside. Bearing in mind that Bremen lost, and they weren't just beaten; they were spanked. Looked like the Freiburg fans were quite safe and didn't see any drama on the streets. It just was a pretty banging environment, really. So, yeah, I had a really good time.
I mean, I think the interesting thing would be now. Obviously, I know it's in the pipeline, but ultimately trying to going to a game in another country, obviously, and obviously another league system. So that I know, we've talked about Spain, Latvia, Belgium. Ultimately, I think what we need to do is go to more games to then be able to compare and say, what we actually do like. We could go to someone in, say, Spain or Belgium or Latvia, and it'd be a completely different environment where there is no singing, there is no what flags or standing or whatever it might be. Do you know what I mean? I know obviously I touched on it earlier, but I thought the standing was fantastic. Other than, well, we actually never even knew where we were supposed to be standing because we just sort of shuffled in where we could.
Getting pushed by the stewards to stay at the island.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been. I mean, it would have been nice, if you was actually a local Werder Bremen fan. Would you have been able to actually get to where you were standing? But I think it worked pretty well. The standing, and I think that did actually help with the atmosphere, if you liked it or not, because it did give people a chance to stand with. Like, we walked in, and all five of us were sitting. There was three of us meant to be standing somewhere, and two of us been standing somewhere else, but we all stood together. So, like, if you went as a big family, but you couldn't get standing or sitting next to each other, you could all just cluster together anyway. So could you imagine go with your mates? Like, as long as you all got season tickets in the same area, like, you could go 20 man strong and all be with each other, which I think would be fantastic. But then in England, would that work? Would it be dangerous? Would it, people get stupid? Because unfortunately we have got that culture, within football.
The thing is, now you've done it though, like, the thing is, if say you wanted to go and see a random Bremen game again, you could do that in a day.
Yeah, you could fly over and come back.
You could do it in a day.
Yeah.
Go first thing in the morning, get there, enjoy a good time but not a silly time, go and watch the game, and you could make the last flight home.
Yeah, especially with the trams. The trams are fantastic as well.
Yeah, and you could literally get to the game, couldn't you? Get out, number 6, number 3, you're there.
Yeah,
a piece of piss, really.
6 and 3. 6.
It was fantastic.
It was. The structure of the whole town. My boss actually went to Bremen in November. She went there with her fella, and they had like a spa weekend there. And she said it was just like so easy. The one thing I want to say was that it was pretty cool seeing a CNA. That was pretty cool. I haven't seen a CNA in decades. That blew my mind.
You saw in Bremen, it was the CNA.
The CNA blew my mind. It blew my mind. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. And there was some other lovely bits as well. I enjoyed the pool club. That was fun. I enjoyed walking down that Diagon alley. That was quite fun. I enjoyed trying like German pub experience was fun. Like some of those that was cool. I enjoyed the that place we went, and we had the meal outside that kind of chiming clock thing that Adam was watching. And we had like the beer roulette thing, and we had like really nice like German meals. Like that whole thing, it was lovely. The old town was beautiful.
Yeah.
The old town was beautiful. It was stunning. Like the whole experience of Bremen was great. I could quite happily do a Bremen trip again, and I wouldn't even have to watch Bremen. And by the way, shout out to the Turkish guy that looked out for us as well. That Turkish guy was great.
What was his bar called? Koala
Bar.
I don't know.
Koala Bar.
Bar.
Shout out to Koala Bar.
That guy looked after us. That really did look after.
Yeah.
He bought in the TVs for us, so we could watch all the Premier League games. It was great.
Yeah. The hospitality was unreal. I mean, how many free drinks we got? We got so many free shots. I mean, they are really friendly, aren't they? Like and it wasn't just in the Koala Bar. It was in other bars where they were like, "Oh, here you go. Here's one from the house," and the pool bar. Yeah, they gave us,
they must have given us a few free shots as well. we were waiting for the pool table, and I know what you know why they're giving them to you. It's the enticement of wanting you to spend money while you're there. But even then, like, it was, you didn't feel like
Pressure.
you didn't feel like you were being pushed into an experience. You felt like you were just there enjoying the experience.
Yeah.
It didn't feel contrived. It felt quite genuine. Like, there was no way they should have let us into the pool bar, by the way, because we were not dressed appropriately for the pool bar. Like, these people were all suited up, and there was us.
It was quiet in there.
Yeah,
They
it was
probably
quiet,
saw us
but
and thought they're going to spend money.
Yeah, but we clearly weren't dress code, were we? And they still let us in. They could see that we'd been out for a few hours, basically the whole day. Yeah, the whole experience was great. I loved it. And you know, if you do like, and I like to have, I'm not ashamed to say, like, if I go out, I want to have, I'm going to drink, and I drank a lot over the weekend, but at the same time, I feel like I still came home within budget.
Yeah.
Like, it's an affordable weekend away if you want to do that. But it also doesn't take away. I didn't feel like it took away from the experience either.
No.
Because it was well measured. And
And
we
it's
did it
not
over the course of the day, as opposed to just, you know, when you go out and it's like you've got 3 hours, so you're knocking it. Yeah. Whereas when you know you're out, you can just kind of, I know I'm going to drink quite a few today, but I can spread it and not have to, because I don't ever feel like we were at any point rushing. There was no like, get those down, you get those down, yeah. It was just, okay, we're going to drink a few, and we've got the whole day to do it. There was no kind of like rush or whatever. It was great.
Yeah.
It's just a shame the Irish bar only took cash, because I would have liked to have gone to the Irish bar. Yeah. And we missed the karaoke. That would have been too. Going to a karaoke would have been fun.
No, we were there at the karaoke bar. We didn't go up.
I know, but it weren't karaoke night, was it? It weren't karaoke night.
Do you know what was nice?
Got a sing
that bar by the river. That bar by the river was really good.
Yeah, that was
a sushi restaurant. That was.
Yeah, that was nice. Good. That was probably the poshest place we were all weekend.
Yeah,
that was
probably that's expensive as well, to be fair.
It was, yeah. You're probably right. Yeah.
But
no, it's good.
But just before we touch on our clubs, we also were interviewed by Bremen TV, weren't we?
We were.
That's right.
That's it. Coming to a YouTube channel near you. So our interview will be on Bremen TV over the coming weeks. They're basically part of that. The guy in the middle there, if you can see it, the guy in the middle there, Max. I've been speaking to him, and he said they basically want to interview Werder Bremen fans from all over the world, and we just so happen to be the only English people there that day, so they wanted to contact us, and they were buzzing the fact that we were a podcast as well. They were thinking that we had thousands of followers, but I think that was mainly because Pete was promoting us far too much. But it's all good though. We had a good chat with the boys, and we shared why we were there and what we do, and I thought it was a good experience. But yeah, and that is us outside the koala bar as well.
Yeah, I thought good. The best thing to come out of that was the guy who let us into the koala bar got to talk about his business for a good 10 minutes to them.
Yeah,
and I thought that was probably like a blessing for him.
Yeah,
yeah, that's him. What's his name?
Issa.
Right, yeah. So Issa got to talk to him for about 10 minutes. Yeah, he was great.
And that's Max there.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't know the other two.
Soundman and cameraman.
Cameraman 1, cameraman 2.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, that was our trip in Bremen, and overall, I think 100% go back there. I think it's a beautiful city, lots of parts unexplored as well. I think we basically went in there. We're not really with an itinerary. We just thought, well, we're just going to go to a pub, have a chill one on Friday, get something to eat, wake up, and then it's just a full day of football. And that's exactly what we did. We had currywurst, we had the schnitzel, we had the beers, we had You had strudel, didn't you? You had your ice cream cow, didn't you?
Yeah,
And,
apple strudel. Yeah, fantastic.
yeah.
Ice cream on it, mate. There were so many ice cream bars. Loads of ice cream, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was good. It was great.
Yeah.
Good weekend, I think. And all of that.
Where's the next one? Most
Well,
realistically, Adam, where's the next one?
I don't know, mate. Don't know. The world's our oyster. I mean, I know Dublin's been mentioned. I know Bratislava's been mentioned. But I think we have to wait until the fixtures come out before actually committing to booking somewhere. And I think as soon as the fixtures are out, we've got to book it on that day. Because the thing what we done wrong was that we waited and waited and waited, and the prices of the flights were going up and up and up every day. So I think the earliest point it's like, right, fixtures are out, these countries, we have to book it straight away. But just book the flight. The hotel's irrelevant. Just book the flight because that's the one that goes up the most. The Bremen flight when I first looked was £56. We ended up paying. Me and Cal paid 86, and then Rob, Pete, and Lee paid 96. So it went up a tenner in like a week. And I think by the time, just before we left, I think it was over 100 quid. Yeah.
I mean, it's still not bad.
Yeah, it's still cheap.
But
when you think all in per person for your flight, your hotel, and your ticket to the game, it was 300 quid.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, I think.
And it was only an hour flight.
Hour flight. Well, from us it was, yeah, in Essex, Stansted. So, yeah, it was not bad at all.
Yeah.
But okay, so should we go on to Arsenal? So how did Arsenal get on at the weekend?
Can I talk first because I've got to go in about 5 minutes. But the I think Arsenal will probably be very disappointed with the result. I was disappointed because I think we should have been beating Man City. This is the first season where I feel like Arsenal were coming into the game clear of Man City. Last year, when we drew with them in the first game and it was 1-1, and we were desperately trying to hang on for the win, it was a sucker punch because we were celebrating catching up and knowing that we were going to be better than Man City, or could be potentially better than Man City last season. And that came to fruition, but it wasn't enough because Liverpool were far superior. In this game, I felt like it was disappointing because I think we came into the game as favourites and we should have been winning the game. I mean, there's probably an element of compliment there because whenever you ever seen Pep Guardiola try and play a low block. So I do think there was an element of a sort of a compliment in the I don't want to say greatness, but the perceived ability of the opposition that Pep gave Arsenal by playing that. But the again, it's a case of the counter-attacking through ball, isn't it? And Haaland's goal was what did us. And Haaland in that position, he turned big Gabs like a kipper, and beat Raya well, and timed the shot to brilliance because that's the type of shot where Raya is pretty strong. But then on the flip side, Eze assist, Martinelli goal to secure a point. And I suppose, like I said, it's one of those ones where you look at it and you might be a little bit disappointed, but it's a game we didn't lose and we should have lost. And I think there's an element of that's what Liverpool did so well last year. They found points when they were losing, and they've been doing that this year. They're finding points when they should be they're finding points and they haven't been great. So it was nice to see Nelly on the score sheet. We've played 5 games and we've got 10 points. We've played Man United away. We've played Liverpool away. We've played Man City at home. We've played Nottingham Forest away. We played some bloody good teams, and we've got Newcastle away next. Did we play Forest at home? Maybe I got that wrong. And then we've got Newcastle away. We have played tough fixtures, and we've taken 10 points from 15. And I, if I'm being honest with myself, I probably would have said at the beginning of the season, 10 from 15 is great. I'll take it now. But I'm looking at it disappointed because Arsenal have played 5 or 6 games this season. 6 games if you're including Port Vale yesterday. And Arsenal have conceded 2 goals in 6 games. So if Arsenal can tidy up what's going forward, they could actually win it this year. They could win it this year because they are not conceding goals. And even when people come in who aren't usually there, when Mosquera comes in against Liverpool, makes his debut at Anfield, fine, does the job. Yeah, Timber comes off. We put Ben White in, who's not been playing many games. We're good. MLS coming in, who's not a starter this year and probably wasn't meant to be a starter last year, but for Calafiori knocks and injuries, we're a team that aren't conceding goals. So if Eze can find where he's going to play, and at the moment it looks like he's going to be challenging Odegaard for the weekend because I think Odegaard's knock hasn't improved. Odegaard could be Eze could be playing 10 against Newcastle, and that would leave Martinelli on the wing to absolutely roast whoever's there. Trippier maybe if he starts. So I think there's probably more positive than that result in isolation says, because we drew to a team that we should have been beating, and we should have been beating Man City. But 10 from 15, I think, deserves a little bit more context, because I think at the beginning of the season, there's a lot of us that would have been like, I'd take those points right now. Maybe some people would have said 12. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, I agree with everything Rob said there, in the sense of I was hoping that Arsenal would take it to Man City and absolutely batter them. But, I watched a lot of social media recently, and they said about, Arsenal being negative, and Arsenal doing this, and Arsenal doing that, and Arteta's doing this, and Arsenal are Stoke. Listen, 10 years ago, when Arsenal went, or however long it was, when Arsenal went to Man United and we were doing the Wenger philosophy, and it was all that attack, and we play all this lovely football, and it's beautiful to watch, but we got beaten 8-1, and then was like, why don't Wenger play the game? Why don't he defend? Why don't he play the fixture and see the game out and try and nick it 1-0? And then it was like, let's all bash Wenger. His tactics are wrong. He's stubborn. He don't do these things. Arteta plays the fixture. Yeah, he's away from home. Yeah, Man City ain't the team they were 2 years ago. We know that. Ultimately, they still got a good squad. And when you got Haaland up front, anything can happen. Let's be honest. He's played the fixture. He's gone up there and he's tried to nick a goal and then defend. We've got the best defense in the world, in my opinion, at the moment. Yeah, and what he's tried to do is go up there, nick a goal, and see the game out. All right, they scored first, so we slightly had to change. He's brought Eze on, he's brought Martinelli on. And again, I know that shows the strength of our team and our squad, which is fantastic. And that's what we need. And that's what we were missing last year. And it paid off. Eze set up Martinelli. I mean, it's a gaffer's,
And can I just add to that, Cal? And can I just add to that? A week before, 5 days before that, it shows how good our depth is, because once again, the subs came off the bench against Athletic Club, and they assisted and scored each other. Trossard to Nelly to Trossard. So it is wonderful to have strength in depth. And by the way, Trossard from the bench is an absolute masterclass, isn't he? His GA from the bench since joining Arsenal is probably the best in the last 10, 15 years.
He's not a sub, he's a finisher.
So, well, do you know what, though? That's another thing that you have to give Arteta credit for as well, in the way that he sets it up, right? Because that is the way that he builds mindset, doesn't he? We start the team this way, but you will win us the game kind of mindset is exactly what you want to be telling your subs, because those players believe that they're not just not good enough to make the 11. They are important when the chips are down.
Mm-hmm. And also that's not a new term. The finishers is not a new term. That finishers comes from Eddie Jones, the England rugby manager back in the day when they went and won the World Cup. Hold on. Did we win the World Cup with him, or did we get to the final?
He got to the final, didn't he?
Sorry, we got to the final.
South Africa.
Yeah. No. Yeah, so we got to the final with Eddie Jones, right? But that's his terminology. That was what he came out with. He said that his subs weren't subs, they were finishers, and so that's not a new thingy. And listen, if it gets, the England squad to a World Cup final, mate, again, it's that old school. I don't like things different. It's called this, and it should be only this. It's not a terminology my great grandfather used, and we should be using it. Listen, if it works for Arsenal, happy days. When Arsenal had the dog, and brought the dog in, it was like, why they got a dog? Now all the clubs are doing it. They've all got some sort of like mascot or dog, or some sort of animal, because it, brings, good feeling around the club. It's, if it works for the club and it works for Arsenal, I could not care less.
West Ham have got one now.
There you go.
They haven't got a dog. They've got a donkey, and his name's Graham Potter.
Oh. That's not nice. That's not nice. That's to get personal.
Do better. I'll treat him nice.
I mean, like going back to the Man City game. Lots of people seem to just want to hate on Arsenal at the moment, which is fine, because it shows that you're doing something that people don't like. People are only going to want to talk about you because they're jealous, or that they're worried about what you're doing. No one's talking about Liverpool and how actually they're playing so poor, but they're nicking goals. Or if they are talking about it, it's more about they've got a title-winning team. Yeah, listen, they had that last year and they ended up winning it. If they could do it 2 years in a row, fair play to them. That I'd be very, very impressed. But eventually, your luck's going to run out. Arsenal dominate the ball. Personally, and I know a lot of people are saying this, I would like them to maybe be a little bit more direct and have shots and do them things. But ultimately, as long as you have the ball, which Arsenal do, and we dominate the ball for a long time, chances will come with the players that we've got, like Eze, like Odegaard, like Eucharist, like Gabby, like Saka, like Madueke. You're going to get chances. Yeah, and again,
it's also
with the
hard
defense,
to lose. It's also hard to lose when you have the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you've got the ball, and also when we do lose the ball, all right, okay, I know he came unstuck on the weekend with Haaland, but again, he is probably the best striker of a generation, and will be going forward, regardless where he goes. If he stays at Man City or wherever he goes from there, we've also got the best defence. Do you know what I mean? So as long as we can keep the ball and we keep making opportunities, and I think that will come in games. As Rob just said, I do think we're going to win the league. Because I just can't see Liverpool. I mean, going forward, their forward line is unreal, but I think Van Dijk looks vulnerable. I'm really sorry. The games that I've watched, he ain't the Van Dijk of 3 years, 3-4 years ago. I think he's going to get caught. He's going to get caught out. He's going to come across good strikers, and he's going to get caught out. In my opinion, but I know there's a lot of Liverpool fans that won't like that.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to shoot, I think, because it's gone 9:30 and I've got to go. All right. But
we can end
I
it
give
there,
a quick thing?
We can end it there. I don't want to talk about West Ham because there was nothing to talk about. I'll be completely honest. I didn't watch it. Watch it. I'm not being pathetic. I wouldn't give a fair reflection on it, so I can't really give my opinion on it. Other than
can I give
all the fans protesting? That's all I can say.
Can I give a Newcastle prediction then?
Go on in. Give your predictions.
Right. So in our last 4 competitive games against Newcastle, we have won 1. We lost 2 in the. Oh no! Hang on. Yeah. So we lost 2 in the Carling Cup. We lost 1 in the league, and we won the last game at home in the league, I think it was, and that was 1-0. We beat them 3-2 in a friendly, but I'm not putting much on that. We are away from home. They're very good against us, and I think. But having said that, I think the starting 11 will be Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabs, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Saka, Eze. I think Eze will start. Rice, Nelly, and Eucharist. and I think we'll beat them 2-1. I think part of the reason is that Shah and Ramsey won't be playing because they're injured. Wissa looks like he's still injured as well. And I think Anthony Gordon will score. So I think it will be 2-1 with an Anthony Gordon goal. But yeah. Cal?
1-0 Arsenal.
Okay.
Eucharist scores.
All right, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah. Ed, do you want to do your prediction for West Ham?
I was going to say, do you want to hear my score result for Arsenal Newcastle?
Go on.
Yeah.
I think you'll win 3-0.
I'll take that.
If we win 3-0, mate, I will do a forfeit next Thursday.
If we win 3-0, Rob said he'd pay for your £300 for your next ticket away.
If that happens, Rob's got to do a Mexicana shot live. A Mexicana shot is Bremen's shot, which is a spicy tomato soup.
Okay, you've got to make it for me then.
Yeah, I'll make it for you. I'll
You've
run
got
it
to
round.
make it. Okay, I'll have the vodka in it though. But yeah, sure. I've got one more thing to say before we finish, but carry on doing the predictions. So you reckon 3-0, and who have West Ham got?
So West Ham have got Everton. So a few stats here. West Ham v Everton in the last 6 games, drawn 2, won 2, lost 2. So, yeah, I can't. I think we're two clubs that are very much in a parallel sort of position, but I think Everton are probably more in the trajectory. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And West Ham are going the other way. So I think that I think it'll be another draw, and I think it'll be 2-2.
Desmond,
and I think West Ham will be in front, and they'll lose the lead to make it 2-2.
West Ham are the type of team that concede against people who don't score, right? Beto, right, has scored a few important goals, but doesn't score enough, right? However, I think Jack Grealish will absolutely murder your midfield. I just think he's too good. So I think is it away or home for you?
It is away for us.
Away. I reckon it'll be a 2-0 Everton win, and I think Jack Grealish will have a say. I just think he's been great since he's been allowed to play his way. And it's nice. It's actually quite refreshing because I don't really know anyone who dislikes Jack Grealish. It's quite refreshing to see Grealish being Grealish, and I hope it continues for him. I really do. But I do think he'll run your midfield riot in your midfield. So I think it'll be 2-0.
Yeah. Cal?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to go 3-0 Everton. And I think Jack will get a goal.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think the form's so bad, Ad. I think the form's so bad. I don't think there's a lot redeeming for West Ham at the moment. And Moisey's going to want revenge. He's going to know where the weak spots are. I just feel like it's got a West Ham, an Everton win written all over it. And again, it's another nail in the coffin, isn't it, for Potter?
Change just needs to happen, doesn't it? Change just needs to happen for West Ham, and it's got to be in the guise of the head coach. But that's a short-term fix, sacking the coach. But the long-term issue is the ownership. But we'll go into that another podcast, 100%. But at the moment, I just think they need to do something to get themselves out of the rot, and yeah. I don't have any faith in Potter anymore. I really don't, and it's like I'm not even excited for when the games are on, or not even like it's just suckered the life out of me because it's like it's the same old shit time after time because the ownership make the same mistakes time after time. Never bought a manager out of compensation ever in that ownership. That's how you get good managers. You get the ones that work.
Maybe Arsenal paid compensation for Arteta.
I think they did because he was our assistant manager.
Yeah.
But it's like getting a plumber, right? Or a paint and decorator. If you want someone to come in and do a good job and they're not available, you wait for them, don't you? Or you pay to get them in. If you get a paint and decorator that's available tomorrow, there's something fishy about that, isn't there? You know they ain't going to do a good job, or something quite dramatic has happened. But for me, it's just like if you want someone to come in and do a good job, you've got to fucking pay for it, and they got to change that. They've got to change that strategy, because otherwise, what's the point of spending £40 million on a player that's the worst defender at West Ham now, when you could have got a manager for £8 million? That could have actually done more to benefit the entire squad than one person playing in the position. I don't know. It's just maybe I'm weird, but it's just the way West Ham are. It's very backwards at the minute.
Fair enough.
On that depressing
I think
note.
well said, mate.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me just. Well, I've got another depressing thing to say. I saw it's doing its rounds on the social media earlier, and Kelly just sent me a picture as well. But former Arsenal striker Billy Vigar, playing for Chichester City FC, has sadly died at the age of 21. So just a little moment.
Yeah, that happened at Wingate.
Rob, blimey.
21.
Yeah, that happened at Wingate.
I think he fell. From what I can understand, I only got time to do a little scan. It looked like he fell over a week ago, but banged his head against a wall, as he did, and didn't wake up.
I thought it happened at a football match. It happened at Wingate.
Maybe he banged his head. That game.
Yeah,
that's where it happened to him.
I think it happened at Wingate, and he got stretchered off. I think that's what I heard. Obviously, that. Yeah, I heard that it happened at a game, and that he at Wingate or against Wingate. And if this is wrong, I truly apologise. But this is what I've been told, and that obviously was then taken to hospital, put into an induced coma, and then obviously unfortunately passed away. If that's wrong, I completely. But that's what I've been told, or been led to believe. It's awful news.
Yeah,
that's not good.
It looks like he hit the concrete wall as he got bumped off the stadium or something.
They've got a brick wall that goes all the way around. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it sounds like he hit that as he fell over.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I haven't seen. I can just see it being reported. There's yeah. But yeah, so awfully sad, and thoughts to hear his family and friends and everyone. So, yeah. Okay. On that note, guys, it's been a pleasure. It was lovely spending the weekend with you, and I will see you next week.
Yeah,
good night, guys.
Hopefully a bit more of a buoyant mood next week. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. There's also an extra feature now where you can hype the videos. So if you scroll along at the bottom on your phone or on your laptop, you can press the hype button, and that means we get gifted points, and the more points we get, the higher we go up in the algorithm. So if those don't mind just doing all those bits, that'll be great. We're almost at 250 subscribers now, which is really good for someone or 3 people that just do this in their spare time and talk rubbish. So yeah, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Arrivederci or Avidazay.
Hola, and we cheer, and we spill a bit of beer. Raise a glass to the past and the mates who ain't here. From Highbury to Upton Park, it's now Ashburton and Stratford for a lark. It's the Old Dads Our Job podcast, the heart of the game.